Hi friends, how are you? Today I'm going to discuss with you about the electrical frequency. What is this frequency? Frequency is nothing but the oscillation. It means the back and forth motion of current. Okay, I will explain this electrical frequency with the help of this waveform of current. Here the current is in the y-axis and the time is in the x-axis, and it is the waveform of current. It is the negative current. Okay, and our AC current is moving like this. See here, first the current waveform is moving from 0 to positive direction and then comes to 0 and then in the negative direction and then again to 0, and this process continues. And one important thing, the frequency relates only to AC current, not for the DC. AC means alternating current. Alternating means it changes its direction. The current changes its direction regularly. And the unit of frequency is hertz. Hertz name came after the scientist whose name is Heinrich Rudolf Hertz. He first gave the proof of the electromagnetic waves. That is why his name has given to the unit of frequency. One cycle means one positive and one negative. That means both of this. It is called one cycle. And this one cycle is called 1 hertz. If it is 2 cycles, we can say 2 hertz. 3 cycles means 3 hertz, like that. And by definition, we can say that the electrical frequency is the number of cycles per 1 second. Okay, in some countries the frequency is 50 hertz. It means that in 1 second these cycles are of 50. This electrical frequency varies in countries to countries. In some countries it is 50 hertz. For example, in India frequency is 50 hertz and the voltage is 220 volts. But in US the frequency is 60 hertz and the voltage is 120. You might be thinking that why in different countries there are different types of frequencies. It only depends upon the cost of the generating equipments of the power. Now I am going to explain this frequency with the help of this electrical bulb. Okay, when we give the power to the bulb, that means in AC current there will require a phase and a neutral wire. Okay, and through the phase we give the power, that means the current, to the bulb. And our current is in this type. It moves like this. So this current will move like this in this back and forth movement. After that the return current will move like this to the neutral wire. Suppose this bulb is in India, we know that the frequency is 50 hertz. It means that in 1 second there are 50 oscillations you can see in your system. Okay, that means when the current passes through this bulb, for example it is the wire. Okay, when this current passes through the bulb, at that time in 1 cycle your bulb will off in 2 times. See, it is the current 0 and here also 0, and the bulb in on position 2 times. This one the positive and this one is negative. That means your bulb will switch on in 2 times and the bulb switch off 2 times. It means in 1 cycle 2 off and 2 on. That means in 50 cycles 50 multiplied by this 2, that means 100 times the bulb will be in off position. In US we know that the frequency is 60 hertz. That means in 1 second 60 number of cycles. That means in 1 second your bulb will be in on position 120 times and in off position 120 times. And one important thing is this process is very fast. You cannot see this difference with your eyes. And now we are talking about the electrical appliances. Okay, in each specific countries, the electrical appliances are made up for the specific frequency. For example, in US, all the electrical appliances are made up for the 60 hertz because their frequency is in 60 hertz. But in India, it will be of 50 hertz electrical appliances. Suppose if we use an electrical appliances which is already rated for 50 hertz, we plug into a 60 hertz power supply, then that electrical appliances will gradually damage. Now I am giving you a small comparison between 50 hertz and 60 hertz frequency. I just divided this 60 by 50, okay, that is 1.2. So in percentage we can say it is 1.2 into 100 percentage. This value into 100, that means it is in 100 percentage. That means 120 percentage. It means that the 60 hertz is 20 percentage more powerful than the 50 hertz power supply. Suppose in your hand there is a motor and its rating is in 50 hertz. Now you are going to switch on this 50 hertz motor with the 60 hertz power supply. Then what will happen? What will happen? This motor will turn 20 percentage more powerful than what it is run in 50 hertz. Okay, it is because the 60 hertz more cycle, so more power, 20 percentage more power. Okay, but it is not recommendable. If you run continuously this motor like this, then the motor will damage gradually. Likewise, if you run a 60 hertz motor in 50 hertz power supply, then we know that 50 hertz is low power. Then your motor turns 20 percentage less power. Now I'm talking about the tolerance. In India, the tolerance is plus or minus 1 percentage. Suppose your frequency is 50 hertz, then minus 1 percentage means 49.5, or plus 1 percentage is 50.5. That means your frequency will be in the range of this. It is acceptable. More than this 50.5 or less than this 49.5 is not acceptable. It will degrade your electrical appliances and the power system. Now about the conversion. If I want to change my frequency from 50 hertz to 60 hertz, I can use these devices: frequency converter or frequency inverter. In ships and offshore related applications, we normally use 60 hertz frequency. And in the case of aeroplanes, we normally use 400 hertz power supplies. We use the 400 hertz frequency electrical equipments in plane, then the weight of the system will be very less. That means, there will be powerful engines, motors would be on planes. The weight of the system would be very less and it will be very helpful for the aeroplanes for the takeoff, landing and its working. And also we know that the 400 hertz is very powerful. We already discussed about the 50 hertz and 60 hertz. We already told that 60 hertz is more powerful. Then what about 60 hertz and 400 hertz? Obviously 400 hertz will be more powerful. That means this high frequency power is important in case of planes for its high powerful engines. We know that planes are moving very fastly. That means it requires very high powerful engines. So for the planes, this 400 hertz frequency power is required. And lastly, I want to talk about the DC power. This is the direct current. In direct current, there is no frequency. See here, the same graph as before, but here our current is moving only in the positive direction, the DC current. That means there is no oscillations. That means there is no frequency. So in DC system, we can say the frequency is 0 hertz. I hope you got some valuable information through this video. If you want to see more videos like this, Please visit my channel and grab more ideas. Thank you.